Temperatures are expected to plummet as we head into this week, and as many of us crank up the heat. Tennessee is ranking as one of the states most likely to see blackouts this winter. News 2's Nikki McGee has more on our outlook and what you can do to prepare.
For many in Middle Tennessee, last Christmas wasn't only a silent night, but also a dark night, thanks to intermittent rolling blackouts, a measure to conserve energy to keep up with record-breaking demand. But a recent report found Tennessee is one of the most vulnerable states for blackouts should extreme cold hit the South again this winter.
The problem is pretty basic. Demand is growing and supply's not keeping up. And it happened last year in Tennessee and surrounding states on Christmas Eve. 9 states had rolling blackouts. If there's a cold snap, the risk is there again.
The North American Electric Reliability Corporation found our grid operator is vulnerable to generators going offline during extreme cold. And it's a problem former Congressman Jim Matheson, now with the NRECA, doesn't see going away anytime soon.
We're trying to sound the alarm because this risk gets worse and worse each year because demand is growing and we're just not building enough electric generation capacity to keep up.
The problem, he says, is twofold, and it's not one necessarily unique to Tennessee.
We're shutting down power plants before the end of their useful life, and that's a mistake. So let's keep what we've got, number one. And number two, look, this is in the public policy arena. I'm not saying get rid of environmental permitting, but let's have some predictable, reasonable amount of time to decide whether projects can be built or not.
With power plants taking years to build, Matheson says the time to start planning for them is now. And although it's hard to predict if and when Tennessee might see any more blackouts, there are steps you can take to prepare.
I don't want to alarm people that there's going to be massive blackouts, but people should be ready for it in terms of make sure you have batteries so your flashlights work. Make sure that if the announcement goes out asking people to conserve or cut back on their electric use, that you kind of have an idea about what you would do so you'd have to come up with the right in the moment then, but you have a plan for that.
Other tips include turning your thermostat down in the 60s and bundling up if asked to conserve energy. Also avoid using major appliances during these times, such as washers and dryers. Now, as technology evolves, the demand on the power grid is only expected to go up. We now have things like data centers and devices all adding to our power load, along with AI also expected to increase demand. As we head into winter, make sure you have a way to get notifications from your electric company and always have an emergency kit ready to go. Kenley.
Great.